talk about all of those big moments during the week. And the last 24 hours surely belong to Antoine Semenyo, the Black Stars forward who got his English Premier League title. English Premier League season. So a very good start, but with some drama. And this afternoon, after what has been a very, very tough week for all of us as Ghanaians, we still want to look at the Ghanaian interest and throw the light on Ghana's interests in Europe as we start off yet another set of seasons. Remember, we're doing all of this as we project towards the last round of matches in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers to answer the very simple question as to whether Ghana will be part of this expanded format. What is your projection for that Black Stars player that you've noticed over the period? What will the prospects be like? Of course, because Semenyo has scored his first 2 goals of the season, we're going to start it off with him. Look at the Kudus Mohammeds, look at the Abdul Fattah Isahakus, and of course all others who are in pole position to get back to answer the roll call for the Black Stars duties next month. And of course, that reality stares all of us in the face. My brother Ya Ampofankra, the Director General of the Sports Authority, is working around the clock to get the pitches lush and green so we don't get into another situation. We'll be getting the perspectives from here in Accra in the studio at 5 Fanofa Street and also the heart of London as we look forward to breaking down what our key talents in Europe have as we start off the season. Welcome to the Joy Sports Link. You know what the drill is all the time, don't you? It's 055-1111-997 for WhatsApp, 055-1111-997. And of course, later at some point, we'll activate the phone line so that we can, get the conversations going. So good morning to all of our friends reaching us from all over the world as we bring you this live stream on YouTube as well. It sure has been a very, very tough week. There's no doubt about that.
It must be a very shameful act from the effort. And also, I personally am very much disturbed because it appears people can look with the constitution no matter what. Thirdly, these things are done for individual benefits, and that's exactly what has happened. Legally, this amendment could be challenged on several grounds.
Available to our clubs is from the partnership. This is what I said. I said the money that will be made available to our clubs is from the joint venture. The joint venture is responsible for the production and distribution of the content, for the content to be commercialized, and for general commercialization of our GPL. This is very clear, and it's important all of us understand the model. When we do, we will not have any problems. The FA has entered into a joint venture with Adisa Productions. We have created a special vehicle for this purpose, and the initial period will be for a 3-year tenure. It's a marriage that we intend to protect and to develop. At this moment, I'm not thinking about negativity as to whether it will end over 3 years or it will go 6 years. Because you don't know tomorrow.
Key sound bites from the week. At a certain point, all the attention was turned towards the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence in Pram Pram, where the Congress of the Ghana Football Association took place. Key decisions taken, which we have gone into on all of our platforms since the decisions were taken. Now, each person who assumes the presidency of the Ghana FA has the opportunity to go at it for 3 terms. And this has been agreed on by the highest decision-making body of the Ghana Football Association, which is Congress. There's going to be improved prize money for the clubs who play in the Ghana Premier League. And also, our referees are going to get an improvement in their matchday allowances. A couple of days ago as well, at the headquarters of MTN, the Black Stars, the Black Princesses, the Black Queens, and the Under-17 team, the Black Starlets, are going to be the subject of a $2 million sponsorship for the next 2 years. So MTN coming on board as major sponsor of the Ghana FA for the next 2 years, with this partnership signed, sealed, and delivered. We're going to go into all of these right here on the show. And of course, he's a seasoned investment banker, but for more important, clarification when it comes to his being on a platform like this, he is a seasoned pundit and a columnist as well, and has a lot of his big part of his umbilical cord tied to Liverpool Football Club, the defending champions who have started off their game. All right, so Kojo Adai-Mensah is my guest here in the studio. Thank you. A bit of all of it, I guess.
Totally. How can you say a bit? Hey, not. No. Charlie, I'll call Australia. I'll call Australia.
I beg. Also joining us from London will be Coach Kwejo Ejejima. And of course, we'll be looking at all of this from different perspectives. From the very technical perspective, as Kwejo Ejejima as a coach, and of course, from the lens of Kojo Adai-Mensah, who's been doing a lot in terms of monitoring of some of these players who will be playing there. And of course, some of the key decisions that have been taken here when it comes to our football administration. A very interesting conversation coming up. And that's the reason why you also have to join us with your thoughts. Remember, it's 055-111-1997. Get in your thoughts and let's get this conversation going because the show is for you. My name is Nathaniel Attoh. I'm here backed by the rest of the production team headed by Mubarak Haruna. Welcome to the Joy Sports Link. Kwejo, very, very interesting 1 week. Let's begin. Yep. Obviously from the not so pleasant note.
Condolences first.
Yes.
Condolences first.
Kumasi Asante Kotoko identified with 3 out of the 8 persons who passed on. The Honorable Dr. Mani Buama.
Yes.
Honorable Mutala,
Mohamed, yes,
and Dr. Samuel Sapong,
yes.
All family members of Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
And for me personally, in addition, squadron leader, now wing commander Peter, used to play squash as well. Yeah, and I'm a squasher, but he wasn't a regular squasher because of his schedule. Yeah. And we play at Burma camp, and then because of his flying obligations, he had to move to Takoradi. Yeah. So I've been personally touched, very, very personally touched. Mani Bama's own hits me because I think in 2013 AFCON, he was then Deputy Minister of Sports. If listeners will remember. Yeah, no. He was Deputy Minister of Sports. Let's check. Omani Boama was once a Deputy Minister of Sports, and he really resolved a Black Stars problem in 2013. I know what I'm talking about. I don't think I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, listeners, forgive me. If I'm wrong, Ghana, forgive me. But I recall Omani Boama was a Deputy Minister for Sports. In 2013, when we were in AFCON, with a problem.
So from 2012
Thank you very much. Nat, you've brought me here with my reputation behind me.
You know, it's interesting how
Oh, no.
the better part of the media, even, everybody was just focusing on the incident, and
No.
the better part of the media didn't go
They
into that.
forgot about the sports link.
Yeah.
And Murtala also had a team. Murtala also had a team. He followed the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, with his success with Steadfast and his recent success with Karela. He also had a team. And so these guys were sports related. Honestly speaking, it's sad. It's very, very sad. I think Ghanaians don't, because Omane's recent history has been, defense, politics. We've all forgotten their link to sports. And we're on the Joy Sports link.
Yeah.
And I should remind
Everybody.
listeners
That's
and
true.
everybody
Yeah.
that sports has also lost serious personalities. At least for me, Omanibuama, Murtala, and squadron leader, now wing commander, are related to sports. I won't be surprised if the others also have some sports link, some way, somehow. My condolences. I mean, it's been so sad. It's the saddest moment.
I was just, trying to, put myself in the shoes of the president, who has had to do an unprecedented number of
I don't envy.
funerals and funeral-related
I don't
activity
envy.
in the last 7 days.
Oh, 7 days? No, more.
Yeah, probably like 10 days.
More.
Yeah.
I don't envy the president, And when you appoint a defense minister,
It's a place
you
of
are
trust.
appointing somebody
Yeah, it's a place of trust.
a place of trust.
Yeah.
You are appointing somebody who that when you go to bed, that person has your back. President Kufuor appointed his blood brother as
Dr.
his
Kufuor.
defense minister.
Yeah.
That was his blood brother. That should tell you the kind of trust he had in his brother. Nana Akufo-Addo, I think it was Nitiwo. He met Nitiwo in the chamber. I look, this is me. I don't have full authority or full evidence, but he met Nitiwo in the chamber of parliament.
Who was one of the youngest
Who
at the time.
at the time was the youngest, and said this guy has a future, and took the confidence and appointed Nitiwo as defense minister. It should tell you how much confidence he had in the guy. And then President Mahama appoints Honorable Omani. Charlie, guys, this is huge. This is huge. I wish we could have a way to bring them back. I wish. Unfortunately, we can't. It is sad. Ghana has lost great men. I'm telling you, great men. I didn't know all of them. I didn't know it was the Abuaji who was a potential MP. I didn't know him. I didn't know the sergeant.
Attoh.
I didn't know him either. But at least 3 of them, I knew Omani, I knew Murtala, and I knew the squadron leader. May their souls rest in peace.
Amen. I'm very sure that Kojo Ejejima also has 1 or 2 to say before we carry on with the conversation. Kojo?
My namesake.
Yes. Good to hear from you guys. It's very sad. This is beyond politics. This goes beyond affiliations to political parties. This is a matter of patriotism, and these gallant men went out there to do national duty, perform their national duty, and so you look at all of it put together. It's the first time such a crash has also happened in Ghana, and the potential these guys had, Dr. Manibuama, Honorable Mutala, I heard also the guy that flew the chopper helicopter was a very, very well seasoned,
Pilot. Yeah.
pilot. And so you put all together, all the lives that were on board are very, very much precious to Mother Ghana. And so it shook even us here in the UK, and I'm sure around the world as well. I first saw the reportage on the blogs, and then later I saw it on BBC here as well. That's how much of a weight that this crash carried. And so it goes back to one thing that as Ghanaians as well, we shouldn't let politics divide us, but we should try as much as we can to stay united and look beyond politics, because I think the country is so much, fragmented with politics, political parties, and for once, the death of a man or the death of a group of people shouldn't have brought us together. We should have been together right after the election. And I feel very, very sad for the government. I feel very sad for every Ghanaian. The confidence now, people will be scared now to even fly on a passenger's flight. So that's how much of aviation thrives in confidence. And my brother Kojo was talking about the defense minister, the late Dr. Manebwama, being very confident of the president, and it's shaking everybody. And you could tell how much of low in confidence that as a Ghanaian you're gonna feel now when you look at what's happened now, and then you're trying to look into the future. I think we've lost some great people. The right things that needs to be done to support the families has to be done. It won't bring back these lives, but it's the least that we can do. And then we pick up the lessons from here, and then make sure that we bring in new helicopters and also improve the system. What I don't like to hear is the fact that we're trying to bring American people to come and do forensic studies and all that. I don't think that we've gone beyond this. After all these years of independence, we should be prepared for all these things. And this is what perhaps the West do have ahead of us in Ghana and Africa and some other countries. They always prepare ahead of time.
Well, as we always say, we pray the good Lord to give the widows and the children and the immediate families directly affected, and for that matter, all of us, light in the dark side of our hearts in these very, very trying times. And of course, in the midst of all of this sadness, would also like to salute, first of all, government for performing this important rite of a state burial to see off these gallant gentlemen and bringing all of us together in united grief to mourn them properly through the state burials. And then also the persons behind this smoothly executed international standard event or events. I would like to salute everybody, every single person who took part, the institutions, the Ghana Army, the church, the Muslim fraternity, our heads of Islam, and most importantly, those at the helm. One person I would like to single out is Standogbe, the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of operations. We saw him on this platform, address a news conference ahead, and he gave out a few guidelines. And I believe that this will be a good template for public events and their execution, and media coverage, and generally how, our protocols are observed, and, generally how we're seen. Because remember, this event was not viewed only by Ghanaians. This event was followed. People followed us spiritually from a distance, and seeing that level of orderliness and organization also tells something about the Ghanaian and the kind of quality we have here. So, Standogbe, this is a big salute to you and the whole team, everybody who you collaborated with. That was a good salute for these gallant men. All right, gentlemen, last night we saw some action in the English Premier League, and I'm very sure that...
is that where you want to go?
Yeah. Before we get there, though,
Sorry.
some key things have happened. We've discussed the leadership of the Ghana FA and how the football ecosystem wants to see it. The people have gone to Congress.
they say, look, you know something, we believe that 2 terms of 4 is not enough to get the job done. Let's get more than more than that. They have gone, they've ratified, we're moving on from there. But some key things have happened. The announcement of improved prize money for the winner of the Ghana Premier League.
How coincidental.
Yes, and then also this $2 million sponsorship for our national teams from MTN.
Yeah. So Nat, I mean, as for the packages that have been announced, perfect. Look, we are the very ones who have sat in this very chair and bashed the FA. Yeah, Bokwatrekwa League. Sorry, I mean, I could have said this next door at Sempa, but allow me to say it on joy. Yeah, Bokwatrekwa League. There's nothing to play for, you know. But we saw the 1 million CD injection for preparation. That was 80 million CDs in total and then now we've seen the prize money thing. There's 2 million for the winner. I think there's 1 million, and then there's 750, then 700, and down to the 15th. What I would like to say there though is I think they should relook at the relegated teams, the 3 teams that are going down Kwatrekwa. I don't think they should go down empty-handed. If we are looking at the English Premier League, when you're going down, there's something called the parachute money. And the parachute money is very, very, very important, because playing in the Premiership, you need to be paying your players some level of, remuneration. And then suddenly you are going down into the
second tier.
And the Championship doesn't provide that kind of money. So they try and cushion you so that the 3 who go down have at least the best opportunity.
Okay, so before you go on, what you are telling us now is that
for Ghana Premier League,
it will be good to replicate.
I think we should replicate.
In the English Premier League.
We should.
It's a good model.
It's a very good model, because otherwise, if I'm in the last 3 and I know I'm not going to get anything, and I know that this one I'm already relegated and I have 5 games to go, honestly, I could be compromised. I'm not saying I will be compromised, but I could be compromised because I'm going down with nothing. So if this guy comes to tell me that, look, you know what, the 14th place person is going to stay with 100,000 Ghana cedis. Listen, I'm going to give you 50,000 Ghana cedis to throw away the match while you go down. I as a human being, I'm inclined to think about it. I'm not saying I'll do it all. I'm saying I'll think about it. So if the package is good, look, we've gone from 0 to something. The something may not be good, may not be enough, because honestly, if I look at my own Kotoko, if I use my Kotoko, one game, you are marshalling bus, fuel, transportation, and what is it called? Hotel, winning bonus, and Kotoko will win almost every game. It shows that, Charlie, the 2 million is not, it won't catch anywhere, but at least they've brought something. And we should give credit to the FA. We should congratulate them, we should salute them and say well done. But let's go to the Congress. Nat, I want to go to the Congress. Am I on air?
You are.
We need to go to the Congress. Hear me out loud and clear.
Okay.
There were major amendments to the statutes that we need to discuss.
Very well.
I know the biggest one is the tenor one, but I'll take one that also is dear to my heart. Making the second vice president the automatic women's representative. It's good. Affirmative action, we've done it all over the world. We've seen affirmative action everywhere. But the question I ask is, that move, what worries me with that move is, are we saying that a woman can't become FA president proper? It's like, these people, you get where I'm going. Okay. The women there, they are never getting a post, they are not getting a position, they are not. So let's create this for them. Charlie, that part, I'm not sure. The women, they should really look at it. So for now, I don't have a problem. For now, okay, whoever.
I mean, in the last 2 elections, Amanda Koko Clinton took part.
And then the other one, Amanda took part.
Yeah.
And then our current woman, the very lady is now going to be like the de facto. But what if a woman becomes the president? Are we going to still keep that clause there? We look. I know about affirmative action. I understand where the FA is going, but the women themselves, are you accepting that by doing this, we accept that we can never become president proper? You know, because what if a woman becomes a president? Then do we make a man the second vice president? Do you get where I'm going?
Yeah.
So
very, very important point.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem. They can proceed.
Very well.
The woman's representative can become the second vice. No problem. I'm okay. But let's think about it again. Is it to say that in perpetuity, only a male can become president of the FA? No, I don't think I agree with that line of thinking.
What about the suggestion that, I mean, the law, evolves over time?
Yes.
And therefore, after a certain period.
Yes. So let's empower them. Let's encourage them. Let's expose them. Let's allow them to, see what is going on. But at a point, I think this thing should be scrapped at a point, so that we open it. No.
Or modified, if you may put it.
And modify it and make sure that it's an even playing ground, and any human being can become president of the FA. Why not? Why not?
Great. Kwadwo, you have some thoughts on this particular case?
Yes, Nat. I just think that I have a different opinion when it comes to the budget the FA has done for the league. I think it's a misplaced priority. We can talk about the fact that yes, there's some cash going to be injected into the league, but what's the budget for the Black Stars? If we go for a basic African Cup of Nations tournament, what's the budget for that? So if what we are budgeting for a tournament of about a month, or in most cases a month or just over 5 weeks, if our budget runs from 7 million to 10 million or probably beyond, and the whole National League that is played in one season does not make the cut of half of that budget, it's a misplaced priority. So I'm looking at it from where we are and why our football is where it is now, because we're not getting everything that has to be in place right. Keto Kweku, his team, whatever they're trying to do, they can seek for the next stem. Nobody really cares about seeking for the next stem, as long as you're doing the right thing. But let's not forget, absolute power corrupts, and that's the path they're on now. Because I just don't understand the fact that we can pay too much money for a simple tournament, and yet a league that represents who we are as Ghanaians, an embodiment of local clubs coming from different communities, are being paid half, or do I say half, even 1/3 of what is going to be paid for a simple tournament for a month. So that's a misplaced priority. It goes back to one thing for me. I don't really know what they see in that office doing, because it's just become a power grabbing kind of thing, trying to push themselves on the ladder of CAF or any other thing else. We don't need that now. I've heard a lot of people say that Ghanaians at this stage, we do not have the talent. Well, if we do not have the talent, are we saying that we don't have more talent than, for example, South Korea or Japan or these other countries that have just emerged in football in the last 15 to 20 years? They've done something right. They've looked at the basics, they've trained their own talented players, and they've picked themselves up in a course of time. The few talented players we have, and we Ghanaians who are much talented, we keep losing the talented one because we're not doing the basic things right. Now, if we keep going this direction, misplaced priorities, paying more for the Black Stars, looking less to the league, paying attention to unnecessary things that does not need to be catered for because everybody is turning out to be greedy, looking out for money here and there. If we keep going this direction, we should have just come to a point and accept that our league is never going to be better. Our football is just going to be the Black Stars. If we do come to terms with that, then I can understand that. There's no point to care for Kotoko or House of Folk or Accra Great Olympics or Bafako or any other team. But Ghana football is just Black Stars. If we come to terms with that, then I'll be okay with that. Other than that, all this power grabbing, doing Congress, secret Congress, opening up, trying to push out for more power, and that absolute power corrupts.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, the element of women and their involvement and how a fixed place has been given to the women representative on, you know, within the leadership of the FA. Akuja Mensa says, you know something, a good idea. However, it must be, you know, tweaked and modified.
I think it's being controlled. The whole FA, the system, the delegates that goes to do the voting, the statutes, the laws that are being, is being controlled. So they know, I can guarantee you that there's no woman that can rise through under this categorical administration to be an FA president. Because most likely they will kind of progress women that they feel they can work with who are simply in bed with the ideologies that will be the vice president. So that's what's going to happen. So it's almost like a monopoly that's being played out in broad daylight. And for me, I just think that the free and fairness, the openness to be able to accept people come in and do the right thing. Because if you're doing the right thing, you wouldn't be scared to let people come in. It's the fact that people know in the FA now that, look, it's like a little cabal. I'm here, you're there, I push you there, you push me here. So it's like a game of chess that is being played out there. And it's just obvious. So if you put a woman as a vice, it's almost like a woman that is part of what I am doing. It's not a woman that is ready with that part of that team. You have to be part of that train to be able to be on that coach. If you're not part of that train, believe you me, you're not going to be on that coach. So it's just as simple as it's a more controlled system. And like I keep saying, absolute power corrupts. At some point, you know, people will begin to rebel. At some point, people will begin to rebel. We cannot equate our system, our football, just based on a few group of people making massive wrong decisions for the whole nation. You know, I support anybody that comes in with clear intentions, good direction, whether it's all inclusive, but getting the job done. As what we see now, we have a few group of people that are enriching themselves, and then the rest of the other teams are suffering. Do you know how much it takes to cover these matches? How many women football teams have we supported? If we bring a woman as a vice president, look at the domino effect. What has been the importance of women football in the women football league in Ghana? So it tells you clearly.
We have to, you know, situate some of the issues properly, because look, being honest and being fair to the Ghana FA.
Today you have two Kojo also, so clarify
Kojo London and Kojo Accra.
Yeah.
Kojo London will not be a good description because, you know, for all I know, you're waiting to just board the flight this evening.
No. I'm not on my way to Anfield. No.
You know, yeah. And Kojo London is known as passionate man as well. So, you know, look, what I was just saying was that, look, we need to look at the trajectory, how it's gone so far with women's football and the gains made, modest as they may be, at least have made a certain improvement. I mean, the kind of women's league we see now obviously is not what used to be the case some 6 years ago. And now
in the maiden edition of the CAF Women's Champions League. We get a showing there, and we're pushing gradually. We may not have won the tournament, but we have a showing there, and we're pushing. And so at least the FA should be given some credit. Would it be right to say that?
I kind of disagree.
Okay, before you go on, what I'm just saying is I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm just looking at the last 10 years, okay? When we were, I mean, 6 years ago, if you came to sit here and talk about the Women's Premier League, it wasn't as attractive and as and in people's faces as it is now. So at least some improvement has been made, and that is what I believe we should acknowledge, even if we have issues with the system. What?
Yes, of course not. I mean, there's been a little improvement, but I disagree for the fact that within the last 4 years or within the last 5 years, there's more that we could have done.
Okay.
Why? Because if a Black Stars management committee member goes for a tournament and receives $100,000, that $100,000 can transform a lot of women football. How many committee members went? We know a lot of them. You know, ex-Samuel Kufuor and all these players were on that team. Alaji Gruza, all of them were on that team. So for me, in a scale of things, I still think that yes, we could have talked about how much progress we've made, but on the scale of things, we haven't really moved much in terms of where the finance are going, where the funds are also going. So yes, there's more to be done, in my opinion, and we do have what it takes to do it. The attention is being paid to the other things rather than looking at the women's football. So in as much as I agree with you for the fact that there's some progress being made, I still believe that there's more to be done. If we're being very diligent, if we're not being greedy, if we're not being selfish, there's more to be done. Not, I'm saying this once and for all here. Up until an FA president wakes up in the morning with his team and decides that, look, there has to be a law that states that every Ghanaian footballer should be paid a certain average money that can take care of himself and his family, we are joking. There has to be that point. We're not talking about people paying 500 cities, 700 cities, and all that bit. Today we have Ghanaian players going all over the place. So imagine if men's football are even suffering this at this stage. How about women's football? The passion is there. The ladies love to play. But obviously it's the fans, the finance, the way we are looking at the women's football, we are not encouraging them. The next minute they get a scholarship, they come into the UK or America or Canada, and that's it, and they're gone. How many Ghanaian footballers, women, do we see keep going with scholarship? It's the same thing. It trickles down to athletics as well. We have to pay attention to women's football. We have to pay them right. We have to pay men footballers right. Clubs need to be paid right. I spoke to one women's football team in Kumasi. They're really, really, really struggling. Financially, they're really, really struggling. So I find it difficult to accept the fact that people who do not play football are being paid more than the teams, than the players. It's just unacceptable. So we can make more progress if we put the right structures in place, if we're diligent and we do the right thing.
We're here on the Joy Sports link on Joy 99.7 FM. Send a message. We are just picking certain key points and certain key decisions taken from the recently held Congress. We're looking at major milestones that were reached as well this week, including some major sponsorship package, especially the MTN sponsorship of $2 million for the next 2 years for the Ghana FA, and all these right here on the show. Remember, it's 055-11-11997, 055-11-11997. Here in Accra, in the studio, is Kojo Adai Mensah.
Yep.
And Kojo Adai Mensah is a seasoned columnist and a Liverpool and Asante Kotoko fan.
Yeah,
And passionate man, Kwejo Ajay.
the best clubs in the world. My namesake may not agree, but the best clubs in the world.
Kwejo Jima, passionate man, is in London joining us virtually for this conversation. So you send in your messages 05511119997. All right, so hopefully we would see some improvements. I mean, in terms of the packaging of the product and all this season.
Nat, I'm expecting major improvements in our local league. But, and I'll say but, we have club licensing rules. We've had enhanced security guidelines or something like that. This very same FA, my own people, you bring out the rules and the regulations, and then you don't stick to them. So why have you even brought it out in the first place? Because this ADESA thing is about production. Not you and I, we've been in this business for decades. It's about production. Now, you have club licensing rules that recommend or prescribe how a stadium should look like or be,
and should be set up
for
match days,
for match day, for your cameras to be able to go and pick the thing. Are we going into a 2025-26 league again where I hear Joy FM the commentator speaking English, oh yes, boy, and then next door Asempa is and then 106.3.
Yeah.
I mean, is that what we are going to have? No. So good that we have this ADESA thing. Good that we have some money being pumped in. Hopefully production is going to be better. But they should stick to the club licensing rule. Nat, I'm telling you, I bet you, if they stick to the club licensing rule, verbatim, D2, we will have more than six stadia or 6 venues approved.
That's true.
Trust me, we will not have more than 6 venues approved.
And it goes beyond just the pitches as well.
And no, it's not just the pitches.
Beyond the pitches, yeah.
So look, somebody asked me that. So this 1 million that they've given to the 18 clubs, what should they use the money for? I told them that two things: player welfare and infrastructure. You see, unfortunately, like Kotoko, the facility we play our home games in does not belong to Kotoko. So when you are giving 1 million, you're asking yourself, Charlie, this 1 million, should I go and put it in Babayara, which doesn't belong to me, and then whatever improvement? But it doesn't matter. Go and put it in your training facility. Make it good. Don't let your players get injured at training. We are having players getting injured at training because the facility is poor. If I had my own way, I wouldn't even, if I were the FA, this 80 million, I won't put it in the hands of any club. I'll put it in infrastructure of any club. Tell me that, what do you need? I have 1 million for you. What do you need in terms of infrastructure? Dressing room, referee's room, football pitch, the thing they call safety zone. Tell me and I'll put it in. Then I tell you that your 1 million, this is what I've used it for. But Charlie, you're giving the 1 million to a club owner into his hands or her hands. Nat, you and I know what it could. I'm not saying will. It could end up.
Remember these
into a Range Rover.
Well, but it
could end up in a Range Rover.
Are also in the red when it comes to their balance sheets.
Yeah, they are in the red, but it's your private company. Joy FM is a private company. So okay, we are here. They've put money into football. Why shouldn't they put 1 million cedis into radio? A lot of radio stations have staff who are not being paid. True or false?
True.
Same. Like the footballers are not being paid. Some of the footballers are being paid 500 cedis a month, 200 cedis a month, and they are all 3 months. Same with radio. Okay, so let me go and advocate. Why shouldn't we pay radio stations too? Because we are propagating government policy.
True.
True or false? Yeah. So, I mean, we should really look at how we deploy this money. The money, they are fantastic. Congratulations to the FA. They've done well. But how do we deploy it? How do we deploy it? For me, the deployment is player welfare and infrastructure. Those two things have to happen. That one, there's no compromise there. Absolutely no compromise. The pitches that they are training on, they are getting injured. They can't even come and play. And then the main thing, no more than 6 venues. But it won't happen because why? Some chief will call the club licensing board chairman, my good friend Kwame. Hey, you know, this is my only source of income and this is my territory. Why are you taking the football away without the football?
But we've seen in past seasons, we've seen the club licensing board take some very stern decisions, which
they are always pushed back at. I can tell you, they take the stern decision. But what do you see? What do you see? They've taken very, very stern decisions, but they are pushed back at.
So then so we are our own enemies, more or less.
We the football people, we are our own enemies. I always tell them, you people, you've done the rule, you've written the law. Then when the person you have appointed to implement the law comes and implements it, then you turn the person's hand round. So why even write the law? We are our own enemies or not? That's as for that one, absolutely. We are on. Why are you asking the person to implement the law? Kwame, Mike Bonsu, Mavisa Amano, they are the club licensing board. Esme Men's club licensing manager. I feel sorry for him because when I listen to him, he knows what he's about. He knows what he wants to do. He wants to implement. Then some chief will call him. Now Esme, oh Bobo, no now okay. When you were at House of Oak, do you remember? And you came to me, and now today you are saying that you can't play on the park. It's the same park that you played on. Oh, SMMS. Why are you doing this? I'm telling you, not. The thing I'm telling you is it's real. It's real matter. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Real matter. But we'll come to the term limits matter. I need to talk about the term limit matter. I'll give my namesake an opportunity. Then we go.
We're here. We have the structure. We're implementing gradually, but in the background as well, the same people are, injuring the process.
Yeah.
So we're running in circles.
Absolutely. Not the way we've set up our football in Ghana is the cause of where we are today. And I always like to emphasize that it's not that Ghanaians don't appreciate our football. We do love our football if we do the right thing. But up until we begin to wake up and start looking into basic things like training pitches and infrastructure, even just jerseys, kits and socks and all that. But sometimes you look at some of these teams play and they play with different shores and different. It's 21st century, so all these things we have to look into it. Remember back in the day, Nat, when the FA used to share meter balls and for the clubs even before the teams started. If you remember back in the days, those were the times where the league was much stronger, much tougher. So we have to go back into infrastructure. It's very important. I don't blame the FA for infrastructure. I think that more has to be done from the government perspective. But the most important thing is how to maintain these infrastructures. That's where it's become a very big of a challenge. So we have to combine all those little puzzles together to be able to get that going. Once we get that going, the love for the game generally will begin to grow again, because we're looking at the point where all the national teams, no, not the national teams, all the clubs in Ghana that do make it into the Champions League, the Confederations Cup, they get knocked out by teams that are training well, preparation from different good pitches. When they meet against Ghanaian teams, it's not that their players are talented than we are, but I just think that they have good pitches, they have good training facilities, they're well being catered for, their diet, everything is well looked after. But till today, most football officials do think that play with the talent. No, talent is only a little bit. Like I keep saying, football has become science now. So we have to transform our pitches, our dieting, everything to meet the modern standard of the game. If we don't do that, we will struggle. And this is where we are. So now that a little bit of money is coming in, well, we have to look at a broader picture, what we can do. Because, with this Addis production as well, I think it's a very good thing. But the first question I'll ask myself is, do we even have the stadiums to meet these standards? Do we have the stadiums? How many of these stadiums are at that point where a good production can be done? If they want to do, say, 20 cameras, 40 cameras, which angles are they getting these shots from? Does it reflect our league? So it's still a good stepping stone, which I do agree with the FA on that, but I still think that there's more that has to be done. It has to be a cooperative action towards how we evolve our football to the next level. It has to be more cooperative. And so if we don't do this, we'll keep going around in circles.
Well, going around in circles, we'll see how that goes. Let's quickly touch on leadership and how long one needs to be in that space to implement. Right. Now, I am throwing back to, the late Ben Kofi and the very popular, 5-year development plan.
Yeah.
And, when at the time it sounded very ambitious and all of that. Now we're here. And we're saying that, listen, if you have 8 years as at the helm of the Ghana FA, you cannot get everything done. For instance, if you want a national team or two to win a trophy.
No, let me cut you. If you have 8 years, you can get everything done.
Okay.
The problems of the Ghana Football Association will not end within 8 years. Even Ghana's problems don't end within 8 years. So as for that one, I totally don't agree when you say you can't deal with the problems of Ghana football in 8 years. There's a reason why the 8 years was approved, promulgated and approved. There's a reason, absolutely. So let me be categoric. I don't have a problem with a 3-term presidency at the FA, in line with FIFA, in line with CAF. I don't have any issue at all. But, and my but is big, capital, bolded with exclamation marks. I have a problem if the incumbent wants to also take advantage of the amendment. That is where I have a problem. Listen, when the incumbent was coming in, the rule was 2 terms. When the incumbent was coming in, he wrote he wrote a manifesto, and the manifesto was written for 8 years. When the incumbent was coming in, all the planning was 8 years. Even if you've come in and then you've realized that what we did during normalization, because of all the hula baloo and the blah 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 that was going on, I've come and realized that no, for a Ghana FA president, 8 years is still not good enough for you. You need 12. Amend it, but move on. And let the person who will follow you come in and take that.
As we speak, do we know if Kurt is going to contest?
So it's not fair on Kurt when we accuse that he is trying to take advantage. I've said it over and look, guys, let's be very fair on Kurt. Because he has not said anywhere. He has said that I have realized that we need 3 terms and I have amended. But he has not said that I've amended and I'll take advantage. So to accuse him of wanting to take advantage of it prematurely is totally unfair to Keto Creek or to the incumbent or to any of the people there. All the ESCO members, they went in there knowing that they have a 3-term potential. But anybody who
continue, let's take a listen to him.
Okay, cool.
We have at the minute almost 2.5 years. I think that question is premature of whether Kurt Okraku would seek re-elections. I think now there was another question of whether Kurt Okraku would seek re-elections. I think that question is premature. We have at the minute almost 2.5 years. to serve the Ghanaian game. And when it comes to that time, I will make a decision.
Okay.
So I totally agree. But you know what? Kurt will serve the whole nation good. And the whole football fraternity good. If he even at today discloses that we have pushed through this amendment, but I am not going to take advantage of it. Charlie Nat, can you imagine the respect this guy will have in the world? Can you imagine? Nobody has done this anywhere in the world. Can you imagine Kurt Okraku coming out to say, I pushed a 3-year term amendment, but me, Kurt, I won't take advantage of it. Charlie, like when I see him, I'll crawl. I'll worship him. Kurt, I am advising you. I've been at. What it does he need an extra 4 years for? Well, no, Nat, come on me. Me kebafe. Me no ebafe ni ekfeko. Me no what will he do that he hasn't. Look, I can understand that his first 4 years was COVID, disrupted. So maybe he thinks that, no, coach, I could have done more. Charlie, this guy, please. Don't go for the extra 4. Kurt, read my lips. And I've said it to him. I've said it to Prosper. I've said it to everybody who care to listen to me. I don't have a problem with the 3 term. Mr. Kurt Okraku, you came in knowing that your term was 2 years. Two terms. You came in knowing that it was 8 years. You will be the most respected FA president of all time in Ghana. He will surpass Ben Kofi. You mentioned Ben Kofi. I'm telling you that Kurt will surpass Ben Kofi if he walks away and says, look, I've come and done what I can do in my 8 years. When I came, I knew I had 8 years. But I don't think 8 years is enough for an FA president. Whoever comes after me, I am giving you an opportunity to do 12 years. So I've amended the statutes. Go. Hey! Nat, it will be Bay. And he has the potential of going to the next World Cup. Ghana has 2 games to the World Cup. Chad and Mali. And then he will have maybe 1 more AFCON. I stand corrected. CAF there, their calendar is blah. Yeah. So you can never tell when CAF. But he has 1 World Cup to go and 1 AFCON to go. What again? Just leave it. That's my view. I don't have a problem with the 3 term. I've read the FIFA statutes. I've read the CAF statutes. You know the more dangerous thing? Go and read CAF statute article 22. 8ABC. Go and read CAF article 22. Hey, it's dangerous. FIFA's own is slightly different. The current GFA rules align with FIFA. But the CAF one, the CAF one suggests that his 8-year tenure mandate becomes null and void. They have some wording they use there. Go and check. CAF statutes, article 22, 8B. And if he wants to, if Kurt wants to implement that, that will be even more scary. That means he's going to go 20 years potentially. He should not do that, Kurt. Man, yes, sir. This is what happened to Kwesi. This is what happened to Kwesi. Look, he's having a fantastic second term. Women's football is doing well. Under 20 did fairly well. Not great, but fairly well. We couldn't go to Chan because Nigeria knocked us out. But still, we're about to go to the World Cup. Check it out. Nat. He shouldn't do this to me. He shouldn't. I've supported Kurt. I've supported the whole people. I've supported them, but they shouldn't do this. Not a 3rd term. No, not for this current administration.
What if the whole ecosystem asks for it?
He should decline it.
Okay.
This is the downfall of every dictator. Oh, and my people are saying they want me, and my people say they want me.
The voice of the people is the voice of God.
No, that is the beginning of your downfall. Oh, my people, and the voice of the people, and the voice. No, that is the danger.
Now you were referring to Article 22
8.
of the Article 22.8.
8. Give me 8B.
All right. Now Article 22.8b of the CAF statutes.
FIFA is different.
Yeah, the
FIFA
CAF
and GFA are aligned. But
now,
read CAF.
their terms begin right at the end of the General Assembly
Yes.
in which they were elected.
Yes.
Now, the President and the Executive Committee members shall not be elected for
Yes.
more than 3 terms,
Correct.
whether consecutive or not.
Correct.
The limitation on the number of mandates of the President and members of the Executive Committee will be effective when the President's statutes enter into force.
Correct.
The previous mandates will not be counted.
Correct. The previous mandates will not be counted. That is the clause. That is the clause. The previous mandates will not be counted. I hope that I'm longing to see the amendments, the GFA one, and how they have couched it. FIFA doesn't put the previous mandate that will not be counted in their own. But CAF has put it there.
And this is...
And if they put it there as the previous mandate will not be counted in the GFA one, it means that ATSA Charlie, let's be careful. Cats, don't do this.
And of course, this is the latest, the latest amended.
It is.
So, yeah.
It is. The FA one is silent. The current GFA one too is silent. But are they going to go to 20 years? The same thing that we bashed my big brother Kwesi on.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, send in your messages. It's 055-11-11997. 055-11-997. We're getting into the men who will do the job. Coach Adai mentioned the remaining 2 games that the Black Stars will be playing. Now we're just about a month away to get into the competition. Just about 3 weeks to go. And these matches will be crucial in determining whether or not we would answer the roll call at the FIFA World Cup. Now, we want to quickly throw the focus on the players. Of course, for reasons of, the first match day of the English Premier League last night and Antoine Semenyo's performance, we'll start off with him. Antoine Semenyo, many analysts have said, well, he's yet to hit his peak, in the Black Stars team. Passionate man.
Yes, Nat. With the Black Stars, it boils down to just how we employ him and how we deploy him, and also the setup of the team. The Premier League is more physical, it's more energetic, it's more robust, and he has that energy for that level of game. So that fits him as well. The good thing about his game is he's able to play on the left. And you can tell from last season how many times when the ball falls on his left foot, how he's able to shoot, very effectively on his left foot as well, as good as his right foot. So that type of combination of his both feet, the energy, the ability to switch between those 3 forward lines, makes him very indispensable in this Bournemouth team. So when we look at the Black Stars as well, the way we deploy our centre forwards, we do not play that same style of football. It's either we're playing wingers on the wide and we're playing through as a centre forward. But his game is not based on playing as a centre forward. His game is based on energy, strength, pace, power, and then he's able to be in the right places and execute those games. So watch how Bournemouth plays. The intensity in transition is part of Semenyo's game. Hence why he renewed and stayed for the next 5 seasons. So that is all part of his game. The other thing as well with the Black Stars is we do not play like that. We do not play to the strength of him when we do have him. We like to move the ball side to side. That makes him less effective. So if we deploy Semenyo in this particular team, we have to play to his strength. The passes would have to be much quicker. We have to float those balls quicker, open up the wings, and find him, whether he's playing through the wings or through the middle. And that's where we're going to utilize him to the best of his abilities. If we're able to do this, that would be the key step forward, unlocking Semenyo in the Black Stars team. Another thing as well is that when you play Semenyo, you always have to find that player that always finds him. Yes, the ball can be much quicker, but who finds the striker is very important, because he can run from a very deep position, because of his level of strength and energy and power. So you need that player that can always find him with that pass, with that movement, where he can, try to make that run, direct runs, or he's coming with those dazzling runs. So that is very important to how we set up in the Black Stars. So for us to unlock him, the manager would have to float the balls quicker to him, find him, or even if the ball are going wide, if he plays through the middle or he plays through the wide. In this Bournemouth team, he's not really playing as a centre forward. He's just operating through those three positions up front. And the manager trusts him, his discipline. That's one key thing about Semenyo's game. He's a very, very, very tactically disciplined player. When he loses the ball, he tracks back. He's in the right position, shape of the team, always intact. And this is what excites managers. And that's why all Liverpool and all these teams were talking about him. The fact that it's not just that he can score goals, he gives more. He assists, he defends, he tracks, he runs. So all these parts of his game makes him who he is now. So for Black Stars, we need to unlock him by giving or making the front line very, very sharp and floating those balls in, those pocket passes, or breaking the lines passes to find him. When we do that, then we're talking about a Semenyo that's going to be lethal for the Black Stars.
And last night, a fan, a Liverpool fan who was identified, at the front, he was sitting in his wheelchair, racially abused, was alleged to have racially abused Antoine Semenyo. And later he had to be removed from the stadium, and some sanctions are going to be, meted out. These things are,
It's very sad. It's very sad because Liverpool is one of the clubs that actually do love black players. It's because if you know the history of the Premier League and all the clubs in the UK, Liverpool was one of the clubs that did have black players way back in the 70s.
Yes.
So most old people here in the UK, especially black people that travel from Caribbean and Africa, a lot of them support Liverpool because there used to be a black player that when many teams wouldn't admit the black players, they had that black players. So Liverpool, it's just a sharp contrast from what Liverpool stands for, and what the club really stands for. So it was just unfortunate.
He's not a
but
Liverpool fan.
The most beautiful part of the game was how Semenyo responded.
Yeah.
He responded with 2 goals. He didn't make that a farce and a big deal. He carried on playing football. And it's sad because it's 21st century match day 1 of 2025-2026 season, and this happens in a big stadium like Anfield, where you least expect that to happen, where football is more cherished. A lot of football fanatics around the world look at the Anfield as a place where we admire. It's a sanctuary for football, And so to come to that perspective, the way he responded, his approach, the goals he scored, it felt like Bournemouth had beaten Liverpool. And that for me was one of the big things, that the beauty of the game that can overshadow all the darkness around the game. And that was very beautiful. And that's why the whole, world is throwing their weight behind Semenyo, is how he kept going. Yes, there are going to be a few nuts in here who will always try to, come out and put a bit of despair in the game and all that bit. But I think all in all, Semenyo carried himself well. And for me as a Ghanaian, I'm proud to read about the positives of Semenyo, how he responded, because I watched the game as well. And the goals he scored as well, he scored good goals. He played really well. He didn't let his guards down. That perhaps, kind of put him into the next gear, and he was very effective for Bournemouth. I think with this, having said that, the FA can still do more. There's still more to be done. The Premier League is a place where, yes, there are a lot of there are racism in different parts, but normally the Premier League is a bit minimal. The least when you say the FA really acts swiftly, and so I think that the FA will act swiftly, and it's a shame that it had to happen to Liverpool, a team that is not known for
Well,
racism.
not known for that.
You know, but anyway, in the end, 2 goals off the mark for Semenyo.
Great
He's in the
stuff.
race. He's in
Great
the race for the
stuff.
Golden
Great.
Boot.
Yeah. Amazing 2 goals. Amazing 2 goals indeed. There's a message here from William. He says, what necessitated the move to do the extension in the first place? And he's referring to the FA's new rule about, tenure extension. It says, if Kurt's view is not to take advantage of the new rule, then why contemplate the rule in the first place? The greatest nation on earth, with all their mighty adventures, settled with 2 4-year terms. We can all see through the schemes. William, thank you so much for that message there. Okay, so Semenyo doing well, and we're just hoping that he can keep the momentum, throughout the season.
I'm expecting him to do the in September again.
Yeah,
September and October. Sometimes our boys are firing up in Europe. They come down into the Black Stars, and you're not seeing the same level of fire that you see. But yesterday, Semenyo was undoubtedly the best player on the pitch. My own Liverpool. Everybody knows I'm through and through Liverpool. But I was very, very, very happy for Semenyo and the way he played and all. And it's not only him. Look, let's shift this into a Black Star conversation, because Semenyo is there, Ishaku is there, Salis is there, Kamaldeen is there, Jiku is there. Look, our boys are firing. I think even Jordan missed the penalty, very uncharacteristic of him. But he's playing. So I'm expecting us to qualify for the World Cup.
Okay.
Without blinking an eye. I mean, that our players.
So that will bring us
on
to
fire.
Yeah, that will bring us to Kudus. I'm sure we're all looking forward
I
to
didn't even mention
Kudus' first
Kudus,
game
right?
in a Tottenham jersey.
Yeah, and Glenn Hoddle has given him a lot of plaudits, and you. I don't know if you're old enough to have watched Glenn Hoddle when he was at his peak in Spurs. I don't think your producer was born.
No.
But
But
Glenn Hoddle, when he was playing Spurs at the peak of his career, he was floating. He floats with the ball, floating, and then and he gives Kudus those plaudits. Come on, Kojo, I'm sure you know that.
Absolutely. I think a part of Kudus' game has always been the fact that nobody disbelieves that, or nobody doesn't believe that Kudus is a great player. It doesn't take Glenn Hoddle to even say this. If you're just a football man and you observe his game, you will know that he has what it takes. His problem is when to release the ball, when to make the right move, when to make the right turn. Football is about moments, and
it's about the win. It's about the win.
Exactly. It's about moments, and great players picks their moments. So you see a Messi walking in the game, and for over 60 minutes he's probably very quiet. The last 30 minutes or 20 minutes he picks the ball, he makes a run. So there's always moments in the game. Kudus needs to learn how to be in those moments, not to just always keep the ball and just run with the ball with his head down and that. No, in the Premier League, the moment the ball comes, remember the ball travels quicker than the man. So you have to release the ball quicker. The move has to be quicker. But I must say, I watched him Spurs against PSG in the UEFA Super Cup final, and I was very proud of him. The way he played, his hold-up play, his one touch, his movement, his defending, the shape, how he moved. For me, Kudus played really well. And already you could tell how much of influence the new manager Frank has had on Kudus. If Kudus can carry on with this style of play, I can guarantee you he's going to be less injured. He's going to be a great player, not just for Tottenham, but he will be considered when we're talking about first 15 or 20 players in the world. Kudus could be there and could even grow more on that ladder. So I see him very impactful, but he needs to kind of grow into that position where he's begun so well already playing in where he's releasing the ball quicker, one touch football, and that is what makes great players what they are in the Premier League especially. One touch football is very, very important. So when you pick your moment with the dribbling and you open up spaces, it becomes so natural. Because it's not that you just want to dribble, but you know the team needs your skill now, and that's where it opens up for him where he's able to be more effective. So he needs to carry on this way, and that form hopefully will be translated to the Black Stars as well, and then can help us go to the World Cup and do more big things.
Well. Let's throw a bit of focus on our captain, Jordan Ayew, and Abdul Fattah Issahaku, the two. I mean, yes, they don't get to enjoy Premier League action. They're in the second tier, but of course, once form is there, it's good for the Black Stars.
For me, as long as they get regular playing time, that's what is important. I don't want them to be in the second tier of English football, and then in addition to that, they are not getting regular playing time. But Issahaku clearly is a favorite of the coach. He's come back from injury, a long layoff, and he's going to really play. Jordan is a bit iffy for me, especially having missed the penalty, and they lost that game. So I don't know what impact it's going to have on the coach's thinking, but I hope it doesn't have any negative impact on the coach's thinking. So for me, this season so far, it looks like every Ghanaian player has started well. That is very, very positive for the Black Stars, and I'm waiting to see what team Attoh is going to pick for the Chad and the Mali games. I'm just told that for some reason the N'Djamena Stadium has been approved by CAF for some strange reason. I thought we were going to play in Morocco, which would have given us another advantage of neutrality. But no problem. We'll go to Chad and we'll do the do there. But to your question, Jordan, Issahaku, even though they are playing the championship, are being regularly selected, and I hope that Jordan's penalty miss. Has Jordan missed the penalty before? I mean, I don't
remember.
I don't recall when Jordan ever missed the penalty.
Probably in training, because
but this was live and colored.
The current Black Stars goalkeeper's trainer,
a lion.
Yes,
Lion.
Yes. Fatah that shares a story of how he said, "Look, I have a few dollars here. If you're able to save my penalty, I'll give you some." I think he managed to save one.
Oh, he did. Yeah, so I'm just hoping that it doesn't dip or dim his confidence, and then he comes into the Black Star camp, properly prepared, ready for action, and for Ghana to qualify. Everybody is really rooting for Ghana to qualify for the World Cup. Everybody's rooting for Ghana to be in the same group as the USA or England, who would definitely be playing out of the USA, not in Mexico.
Interesting stuff there. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so let's talk about Abdul Fattah Issahaku, youngster also with a lot of bite and a lot of verve.
Issahaku has to be more serious, and I think with talent-wise, he does have a lot of talent, but he has to be more serious. He has to evolve his game. When I watch him play, he's always stuck to the wings. Yes, I know that the coach likes to play him through the wings. Remember, Issahaku normally plays on the right, so he likes to cut in. But the way he plays, it's like a player that is a little bit scared. When he has the ball, for me, when you're left footer on the right wings, what changes your game and what makes you more effective is when you're able to come in when you do have to, but when you do come in as well, it's not even about scoring alone. It's just about taking defenders on, drifting them into the middle and opening up spaces, and perhaps let your fullbacks do a high pitch run behind you. So I don't see that off his game. Sometimes he's a little bit more static on the right side, but if he can evolve his game a little bit more, I think he's going to be more effective. And then he has to be more serious because this is like his third season, I think. So if he doesn't step up, then obviously from the injury, it's going to be a very big hurdle for him. He has to really get more serious, find extra trainers, train with, and then improve his game more. With that, I think his talent will shine through. He's a very big talent. I do like him, but I think when you get too much stuck on the wings without coming in, without creating much, because good left footers are able to impact the game from the right, either because you don't know what to expect from them. When they come in and they bend those balls, they're very acute left foot, and it just flies in. And so he should be able to evolve his game from the wings into the middle and then improve his energy and his strength. That's another thing of his game that he needs to improve, his recovery and his strength and energy. He needs to build up, because in the Championship, Premier League, English football across, you need to be able to have that level of energy to play.
Okay, more to talk about. Let's switch it over a bit and go over to to Spain, because Thomas Partey is obviously a very big subject. Thomas Partey has one of the most difficult times psychologically because he has a scandal hanging around his neck, has to balance play at his new club with attending to court and all of that. Tough one for him, isn't it?
Nat, I'm actually impressed with Villarreal, and I'll forever respect Villarreal forever. I don't know how many clubs would have taken the risk they have taken on Partey in this current situation. In fact, I am on record to have said Partey's career was literally over because the timing of the filing of the case was so, I don't know what word to use, but was so, the prosecutor was determined to destroy Partey, because he waited for the contract to come to an end. Arsenal knew this was hanging around the guy's neck, and then he files the thing in July 3rd or something. That means that any club that is looking at this guy is going to say, hey, how can we go sign a player who every week is potentially going to go to Crown Court? So for me, I said Partey's career was over. He's officially 32 years old. If I use Mendy's case as a proxy, this case is going to travel another 3-5 years. If I use Mendy's case as a proxy, that means officially, and I use officially, he could be 35. Who is going to sign Partey at 35? To do what? And if unofficially he's 35, that means that, and I said if. Kojo is laughing. Kojo is laughing in London. Okay.
Stick with the official.
You get me? That means that the guy's career as a midfielder, he's not a goalkeeper. He's not a Lewandowski. He's not a Casemiro. Neither is he whoever. So, for me, the prosecutor was literally killing the guy's career. But thank God, some sensible man is in Villarreal. There's a sensible man in Villarreal who said, we'll take a chance on this guy. These things end up as not guilty, even though it will stretch, it will worry him. But not, it ends up as not guilty. Mendy, not guilty. Ronaldo, not guilty. Many Neymar, not guilty. Many other people, not guilty. But it's just, it's a spanner in the works. It's just a distraction, an unnecessary distraction. But he played a friendly, and I hope Villarreal will still have confidence in him to continue playing him, so that he can also come in and Otto Addo will take a look at him. Because if he hadn't gotten the Villarreal deal, there's no way Otto would have taken a look at him, and that means that he wouldn't have gone to the World Cup. But thank God. But I'll use this platform. Me, I've used another platform. Enjoy is big. But I'll say it, and I'm going to be controversial, but I'll say it. Players, our Black Star players, Emakoko on Munjai, plantain chips, Munjai, black is beautiful. Not black is beautiful. This Emakoko thing, they should stop. They go into the dressing room, they go and they are laughing at each other. Name me Namojo girl. Come on, if it do neke, is it not do? Come on, no, if it do neke. One can plantain one can plantain chips, okay, mini, and they are laughing at each other. That is what leads the players to this. This is what leads. I'm saying this. You can quote me and play me back. Black Star players, nyekpanakai, plantain chips or balco thing. Black is beautiful. Come and take your own from Accra and Aga and fly them. Inke Kudus. I've told Kudus. Come and import from Mamobi. There's nothing wrong in importing from Mamobi to Space. There's nothing wrong. You do this about Coco now. Look at what it leads you to. What is wrong with black is beautiful? My players, my Ghanaian players, please.
Since we are dealing with the official here, aren't we sounding a little discriminatory? If there are people who are drawn to people with lighter skin,
and then look at where it lands you. I'm just advising. I'm not discriminating. I'm advising. I'm advising. Obakoko, dangerous.
Big shouts to every Obakoko out there listening to the show. We love you all to bits.
Okay, I hear you.
Kojo London, talk to us. You know, this obviously should be, and I get the import of everything, even though Kojo Dimensa has couched it in that way. I do know that the import of it is the lessons we have to learn. The lessons we have to learn. You know, the lessons we have to learn from these. And do we see the players learn any lessons at all from these experiences on the general scale?
I think a lot of the players do not learn simply for the fact that a lot of these boys are not well surrounded by families. And the Brazilians, they are beginning to learn. So now you've got the young boys that do come in from Brazil. They do have their families around them. Usually their dad or their mom around them. And because they know they were prone to these sort of things. So a lot, we saw, you know, what happened to Dani Alves when he was just by himself. You know, and we've seen what's happened to Neymar. We've seen what happened to Robinho. We've seen what's happened to Ronaldinho. We've seen all these things that happen to the Brazilians that do not have the family around them. And then the flip side is you look at Vinicius Jr., family around him. Rodrigo, family around him. So now gradually players that comes from struggling backgrounds, they are beginning to learn, families are beginning to surround themselves around these players, and that's very crucial for their guidance, because players do behave like kids. And I think Thomas Partey, you know, there was a lot of things that were flying around here in the UK. I had a few things here and there, but I think the most important thing is remember where he came from, and then where, you know, he's going to his level of game, his football, he's grown, the talent, everything. So I think that this is the time that the family needs to surround themselves around him, because it's not just about the strain alone. Financially, every court date requires new money. He needs to have the best legal team to be able to fight this case through and through. Villarreal, he's not going to be paid as much as he was receiving in Arsenal. He's not going to receive 250,000. But what it will do is it's going to help him, you know, grow his game more. He speaks fluent Spanish. He knows the Spanish league very through and throughout. He's a very cult figure in Atletico Madrid. So he's still playing in arguably one of the best leagues in the world, facing some of the great players. So there's something to play for. And that can also alleviate that, you know, that stress of the court cases. And then if he has to travel from Spain to England, the Crown Court, for all these charges that's been labeled against him. Transition makes it easy. If he goes to UAE, or he goes to Arab, or he goes to Qatar, or those areas, he would have to fly 8 hours in just for a court hearing, fly back. He'll be knackered by the time he goes back. And so transition-wise, it does work out for him. Now, finally, he's tied the knot. He's married now. So it gives him a bit of a backbone that he can focus on and fight the case. But it goes a long way to tell these boys that, they should look at these examples and not be childish when they start moving and the money starts coming in, because they buy a lot of cars and they're being toiled around and just moving around, and sometimes they can out silly quote unquote, and then it can create a lot of things. Yes, if he does fight the case and comes out victorious, well, it still put a stain on his name, and you don't want that. You want, because life after football is very important.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact, here in the UK, there are a lot of companies, a lot of TV channels that would even employ you because of your history, prehistory. And that is very important. You have to look at all these things, life after football. And because the span of a football is maximum maybe 10 years, or a little over 10 years, and especially with African players, they grow much quicker when they go into Europe, sort of.
I see.
So all these things are very important. He needs to learn, but I think that this is the time the Black Stars would have to show him love. He has to be part of the Black Stars team, not just on merit, but also a time where we can rejuvenate him, because Partey still has football in him. He's still active. He's still playing really well, which is a good thing. But he's one of us. He's a Ghanaian, and the nation can can give him that help and that boost in this crucial moment in his career to be able to sort of motivate him, good performances. And you can tell when he comes back, you will tell his determination, his focus and direction where he's going, and that will also help. So we should be able to put our arms around him and then also advise him and speak to him and guide him in this moment.
Well, a few minutes to wrap it up here. Just about 5 minutes. Let us see if we can squeeze in some phone calls. It's 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541, and 055-11-11997. And on a very light note, the PR manager of current Black Stars captain Jordan Ayew and the Ayew family, Fifi Taki. Fifi Taki is he says he's the official spokesperson for all the Makoko in Ghana. You are forgetting that our own mother and our beloved, wife, who recently celebrated her anniversary, Maha Ayew, is
but she's local.
She's so you mean
she's local?
You mean Ghanaian Obakoko? Okay, please. Then you have to say it all over again.
No. Let me say it all over again. The local Obakoko, born and bred from Nima, Newtown, Mamo B, that one there at the Fuaso, big time.
Okay.
They look, hey, Fifi.
So all you're saying is that
my problem is the Abroche Obakoko. Hey! They should come and import the local Obakoko. That one, no problem.
I see.
Fifi.
Let's get on the phone.
Nima, Mamobi, Kanda. You know the enclave I'm talking about. What your boy you know the enclave.
All right. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Max.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. My name is Attoh calling from Tema. Max, please, I want to ask Kojo a question.
Yes, please.
When was the last time you visited the Kotoko training grounds?
Oh, it's been a while. I must have said.
It's been a while.
Yes, I will admit it's been a while.
Okay, the reason why I asked you was, last week I listened to you and the sister radio station. You said, the 1 million Kotoko should go and invest. You've not been there.
No.
Let me tell you, there's a lot going on there.
I agree.
Maybe people don't know. So sometimes do the background check so that you know what they are doing there before you come and talk about Kotoko issues, please.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
But you will understand that place, I've invested money there before. I'm sure you know that.
I'm talking about currently.
No problem.
And about the 1 million. And let me tell you something.
I take it.
Kotoko monthly expenditure at 600,000 Ghana cedi.
I take it. Boss, I take it.
Kotoko monthly expenditure is 600,000 cedis. So even though the 1 million is something, but it cannot take Kotoko anywhere.
Boss, I take it.
Thank you very much.
I respect your opinion, and I take it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff. 0302216541. 0302216541. And Fifi Saki says he has accepted. And Leila Pinto of Bank of Africa, good afternoon to you. Thank you for always doing the listening. Glad that you're all tuned in. So just before we wrap things up here, it sure is looking pretty good for our Ghanaian players. Finally, we have to just touch on Kamaldeen Sulemana, who's headed to Atalanta. The 18 million euro move to Atlanta, 80 million pounds actually. Yeah, one of the very big bright spots we could all look forward to.
Yes, he's joined his former coach, and so a man that knows Kamaldeen, how he plays, and so that's very important. He needs that partnership. Remember, World Cup year is coming up. He needs to have a great season. And then I've just felt that maybe Southampton wasn't right for him. The way the team played, coming back from injury, he didn't really function in that team. And this move is very, very critical. I think Kamaldeen could be one of the cornerstones of this new Black Stars. And so he has to play more. And then he's at that point where his game needs to be able to evolve, because it's either make or break for him now. So it's very important. But now I like to say something. There's a general breeze of Ghanaian players, a general breeze that is blowing with Ghanaian players in Europe. I'm beginning to see that. We saw that in 2006, 2005, 2007, 2008, up until 2009, heading towards 2010. Within that 5-year period, we saw a breeze of Ghanaian players that was beginning to move around. And that breed of players, I feel that breeze now, because when I look at across the leagues, I'm beginning to see a springing forth of Ghanaian players in Europe. And so there's that hope for our football now. But we have to still keep up. We have to still try and as much as we can help these players come up.
Could you final comments as we wrap up?
Well, I think we are going into a new season, both locally and foreign wise. I know in your intro you tried to bring in the English Premiership. Maybe Kojo and I could have spoken a bit about that. Liverpool are off to let me say a decent start, but we are going to concede a lot of goals. I think this season Liverpool will concede a lot of goals. If we are going to win the Premiership, we are going to be like the Brazil of 2002, where you score us 2, we score 3, you score us 3, we score 4, you score us 4, we score 5. I think we've been seeing that against Palace, and we saw that yesterday against Bournemouth. Locally, the league starts in September. Kudos to the FA for bringing out the timetable and the calendar early enough so teams can plan. I'm just hoping that the teams would adhere to club licensing rules, especially security protocols, because security is the number one thing. To my own Kotoko, I'm going to wish them all the best against Kwara. I think we are playing Kwara United in the Confed Cup. We should be able to overcome Kwara United. Yeah, granted, again, to the caller that, yes, I haven't been to Adako Dachi in a while. I know quite a lot of development has gone on, but I still follow the team. I still talk to relevant people in the team, but my apologies if I got something wrong in the future. I'm going to do a bit more research before I come out. So thank you very much for that heads up to the caller, and to Joy FM, to Nat, to Kojo. It's an honor always to be on the greatest sports show of all time.
Thank you. We appreciate that greatly. And thanks to everybody for doing the listening right here. And we're glad to have brought you this big conversation. Thanks to everybody who joined us from all over the world. We're very grateful to you. And considering that we are firmly rooted on Ghanaland, what I'll say is Afi. Afi draw ayani ebani na wo. Ni Omanyi draw le hon na afi wono, but the try is meant for the chiefs.
It's meant for the
Yeah,
chiefs.
you when you say try, then you are a chief. Oh,
Yeah, I take it back. I take it back.
So we
But
play that
Anka
thing.
says it all the time.
No, but it's still wrong.
Oh, then I take it back.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Afi Kaja Joy 99.7 FM. Thank you all so much for doing the listening. Thanks to my whole production team led by Mubarak Haruna. I will be back next weekend, and of course, next weekend we'll be coming to you from the University of Ghana Stadium, where we'll bring you the Joy Sports Invitational Tournament 2025. Have a wonderful weekend, and of course, happy 60th birthday to Dr. Ellis Fletcher Jolato. Happy 60th birthday to you. Wonderful gentleman indeed, and the whole family celebrates you. Your wife Mami Aso and the whole family. We say happy great birthday to you, Dr. Ellis Fletcher Jolato. Have a wonderful afternoon, everybody.